Hello, welcome to this Vata, Pitta, Kapha tridoshic pacifying class. In this specific class, because we are pacifying more of the Pitta and Vata energies, we will be focused more on Kapha dosha as our pathway to finding balance between both Vata and Pitta. So, assuming you know the yogi language, we will go ahead and get started with that in mind. So go ahead, and as we're kind of considering the idea of grounding, centering, stabilizing, and bringing three energies into one harmony together, we'll kind of start with centering and stabilizing our body and our mind and bring everything here to the present moment. So go ahead and close into the eyes if that's comfortable for you. And when you close into the eyes, you can feel a little more of those connection points to the earth here and feel the density of your weight in those connection points. So really focusing on those areas, maybe noticing your sit bones rocking between the two, just finding those points of connection to the earth. And so rocking here, side to side, perhaps. Just noticing. You might tuck your tailbone forward a little bit if you notice it pushing back and away. And then when you find those sit bones neutral and stable into the floor, go ahead and draw the crown up toward the ceiling. So we're finding the balance between heaven and earth. And we're the medium between both of those. So kind of bringing the idea of just balancing and harmonizing into our heart and mind. And once we find a place where we feel stable and neutral, go ahead and round into the shoulders, draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Feel into your body, the weight of your body against the floor. How do you feel today? How does your body feel today? And then we'll find our breath. Once we're connected to the earth, our body, this moment, go ahead and find your breath. Relax into the shoulders, soften into the body. Grounding, centering, stabilizing, reinforcing. Even the hands pressing down, face down into the thighs helps to find that grounded, centered, and maybe even relaxed approach. Just noticing our breath here to start. Finding a place at the tip of our nose, or even just following the inhale through the nose. Finding where it goes, where it lands. Maybe expanding to accommodate. A deeper inhale here. And perhaps breathing out through the mouth, drawing the exhale out long. Again, following the breath here. And after a couple of big deep breaths, we can go ahead and get started here. Maybe on the next breath, we can begin to invite some movement along with our inhale. So we'll open into the eyes, drawing the arms up nice and slow here as we begin. Inhale, draw the arms up, but let's keep the gaze forward because we're really trying to find that balance. So not so much upward energy, but stabilizing, grounding energy. Draw the palms down, pressing down the center of the body, pressing down toward the floor, toward the earth. You might even feel this stabilizing It feels stabilizing even in the palms and in the body as you inhale, draw up. We'll find the palms pressing down toward the floor here. Go lay down, Duke. Go lay down. Inhale up. We'll draw the arms up. Exhale down by your butt. Your little tush is right in front of everybody. Okay. Inhale up. Definitely ground down. After a little unsettling energy there, just new energy entering the picture and finding that sense of balance. Again and again. Inhale up. We'll press down here 1 or 2 more times. Maybe drawing that exhale out long. One last one here. Inhale up. And this time keep the arms up. Bring the palms forward and we'll come into a forward fold here. So again, drawing the energy downward. So we'll draw ourselves forward, hinging at the hips, so not rounding quite yet. But finding ourselves forward, keeping those sit bones to the floor. We want to stay connected to those anchor points. You might even bring your hands back a little bit if you need to keep those, in order to keep those sit bones to the floor and grounded and stable. And then once you find that place, you might be able to begin rounding down toward the floor. Bend into the elbows, round into the spine, tuck the chin. Find yourself drawing inward. Draw the belly button back and in. Pressing the bed of the fingers into the floor, the points of the fingers into the floor, the palm into the floor. We're grounded and connected, anchored and supported. Drawing out the exhale long. On your next inhale, we'll walk our hands back. Begin to draw yourself back up. Inhale, we'll bring the arms up again. And then from here, we're going to twist our torso over toward the left knee. And then we're going to find our forward fold again. So if you have any discomfort, you don't have to go too far over, but as far as comfortable, we're going to bring the palms forward again, hinging at the hips, drawing the belly over the thighs, bringing the palms down toward the floor. Let the hand connect down to the mat. Again, press into those anchor points into the palm. Tuck the chin down, round inward. Find your chin toward the chest, maybe. See if you can relax into the neck, into the head. Bring that belly button back toward the spine. Continuing to follow your breath, staying connected, staying present. We'll walk our hands back on the next inhale. Go ahead and let yourself come up slow. Stay at ease. Find your breath again on an inhale. Again, draw those arms up. We're going to exhale, twist our torso over toward that right side here. Palms come forward, hinging forward, drawing the belly button toward the thighs. We're going to bring our hands down toward the earth again on this right side. Feeling that lengthening, that stretching on the left side, on the opposing side. Always finding that play or harmony between two opposing forces, and then trying to find that pacifying, which is what we're here for, a pacifying practice. Draw that belly button in, maybe round into the shoulders, into the neck, tuck the chin, belly button draws inward. That earth energy, that kapha, doshic, pacifying here. Well, we're pacifying Vata and Pitta through a kaphic practice. Drawing inward like the earth, like the ground. Relax into the head and the neck. Let yourself be soft. Bend your elbows so that you can draw toward the floor, finding that grounding, centering, stabilizing. And on your next inhale, we'll draw up, press up, walk our hands back. And then come back to center. Great. Take a pause. See how you feel. Let your energy kind of recalibrate. Find those sit bones. Allow those shoulders to maybe inhale up and then exhale, draw back and down. See if they can soften and relax in place. Find that connection to the earth here again. Find your breath here through the nostrils. Lift up tall. Crown of the head rising up, long spine. Exhale, relax the body, soften toward the floor, ground. down, in. Great. On your next inhale, go ahead and open into the eyes. We're going to change positions here, staying toward the mat, toward the floor today, to really keep that downward energy focus. I'll be 1 second. So we're going to find ourselves in tabletop position with the knees to the floor, wrists to the floor, well, palms to the floor rather. So we'll want to find our knees underneath our hips, our wrists underneath our shoulders. So finding that alignment, pressing down evenly throughout the hand, the palm, the fingers, the fingertips and wrists. The pressing into the tops of the feet. So really finding again those connection points to the earth, making our connection, finding those anchor points, finding this moment, this breath, this body. Finding again that harmonizing between up and down, so maybe noticing the crown of the head pulling away from the tailbone. Finding again here your breath. And whenever you're ready, see if we might begin a few motions of cat-cow. So on your inhale, we'll begin with the tailbone. So again, keeping our energy downward toward the lower half of the body, toward the mat, the floor, the earth. So making those connection points throughout the body and even those connection points from our body to the earth. But here for now, once we notice where we are and we're nice and stable and supported, we can begin to draw the tailbone up first. So let the tailbone lead. The lower half of the body is going to lead this time. Instead of the mind leading the body is going to kind of lead the mind and the breath. So the tailbone is going to draw out on an inhale. And then you're going to allow the rest of the upper body to draw up, the crown coming up last. And then again, as you exhale, letting the tailbone lead, tucking forward and inward. Drawing everything toward each other here at the center, let the crown be last. Inhale, let the tailbone be first here and lead as you draw up. And the head comes last here, kind of reversing our normal order. Pressing into the earth throughout the body. Let everything work together. Following your breath, staying connected. That's a part of our, our anchor point, our anchor point. Staying grounded is being anchored to our breath. And remembering we're here now in this body, in this moment. Tuck in, letting the head be last. One more set here. Inhale. Taking it slow today, slowing down that Vata, Pitta energy, that fiery intensity, that urgent rush to get here, do everything at the same time. Instead, we're taking it super slow and mindful. One more time here, letting that tailbone lead all the way up. Open and lift through the heart to the chest. Draw that chin up. And then exhale, tuck forward. This time pressing back. Bringing the hips toward the heels, allowing the forehead to come down toward the floor. Maybe grab onto either elbow here to make another connection with your own body, to find again your own body in this moment. Let your head be soft, grounded toward the mat. Let your chin tuck toward your chest so that you can relax. Find that centered, stable, neutral. On your next inhale, begin to let your breath wake you up, draw you up, bring your hands down to the floor, press in, lift yourself here. We'll draw ourselves forward. We'll bring the wrists underneath the shoulders here yet again. If it becomes too much with your hands or wrists into the floor. You can come onto forearms, that'll work. I might even do that just for the heck of it. I'm gonna bring my right leg back here. Oops, you can't see my right leg back, so let's scoot it up. So we're gonna bring my right leg back, make that connection with the floor, so curl those toes here on that right side, and just begin to explore here. Your forearms are on the floor, your palms are on the floor. We're about as grounded as you can get with still being able to make some motion and get some motion into this body here, but still staying grounded and centered and stable, so not coming too far or too intense. And just see how it feels in your body. Give yourself the opportunity to check in, which might be something rare for a Vata or Pitta who might be busy or distracted. We'll go ahead and draw that right knee back in. Left leg will come out, back behind us. Go ahead and rock back and forth. Just kind of feel that connection underneath the toes. So that's a place we normally don't feel. Our toes don't normally get this open stretch. And especially for those who might be less inclined to notice their feet or their toes, being more Vata Pitta, making that connection underneath the toes is a great way to support. Great, so go ahead and bring that left knee forward. Press your hips back to your heels. See if you can find your child's pose one last time. We'll stay for 2 breaths. Allow your forehead to find the floor. Allow your shoulders to relax. And on your next inhale, we'll press ourselves up. We're almost done with this portion. Let's see if we can finish up. We're going to begin by drawing the left leg out. We'll press in with the left palm into the floor. And we're going to see if we might be able to lift into the right palm off the mat, kind of peeling open. Lift that right arm up toward the sky. And again, finding that middle point between the heaven and the earth. Our toes are grounded, our palm is grounded, but we're still also reaching toward the sky. So the balance between 2 opposing forces. Stay with your breath here. Inhale, reach. Woo. Exhale, we can sweep that arm back to the mat. Go ahead, switch sides. Left knee in, right leg out. Find those toes pressed and gripped into the mat. We'll press again that right palm this time, equally across the palm and the knuckles and the bed of the fingers. We'll peel this left hand up off of the floor, drawing up toward the sky as we open the heart, reach toward the sky. Find that sense of balance. We are the balancing force between heaven and earth, in a sense. And exhale, we'll sweep back forward here. We'll bring our right knee to find the mat. And then we're gonna walk ourselves onto our knees here. Maybe do a little arm sweep, release any pressure or tension built up from our practice. Maybe do a little shake. A little swing. Maybe we'll tuck the chin here forward here for just a moment. Rock our left ear to our left shoulder. Pause here for just a moment, reconnect. You can bring that right arm out. And you might do a little sweep of the hand. And inhale, back to center, head comes up. Do a little shimmy, release. Find your breath again here. Exhale, chin comes forward. And inhale, draw your right ear to right shoulder. You can bring your left arm out here if you'd like, or just let it relax down to the side and do a little shake or wiggle, releasing into the hand and wrist and fingers and joints on that left side. On your next inhale, draw yourself back up to neutral. Inhale, lift your shoulders up toward your ears. Exhale, draw them back and down. Maybe do a couple circles here if that feels good for you. If you need to grab a drink, go ahead and do so. I'm going to. And then we're going to, you don't have to change position, but I'm going to change position because we're going to keep our energy down toward the floor, that apana vayu energy, that downward stabilizing energy. So our knees are going to be on our mat, but then we're going to bring one leg out long with our foot forward, toes forward, planted onto the floor. You might have a block here, and I typically do have a block. It's a little bit easier to access the floor, but if you don't have one, you'll do what I'm doing here, and you'll just press that wrist underneath your shoulder yet again. We'll keep those feet grounded, long leg grounded here, foot grounded, knee grounded, of course, toes curled under on that back foot so you can keep yourself stable. Press into the earth, and as you press, lift up, maybe reaching the arm all the way up toward the sky. Keep your gaze forward so we're keeping our energy centered, stable, neutral. Pause here, find your breath. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Inhale here. Inhale, get long. Make sure you're nice and long from head to toe. And on the exhale, let's see if we can bring our palm face toward our head. And on the exhale, bring your gaze down toward the palm on the floor as you draw the whole arm pressing down toward the floor. Gaze comes down toward the floor, grounding, focus to the mat. Draw the body long, bringing the fingertip, reaching, open, lift. Stay here with your breath. Great, one more breath here. And on your inhale, we'll draw back up toward the sky. And on the exhale, we'll sweep our right arm down, walk ourselves back forward. So now we are in our tabletop position with a long leg out to the side. We're going to let this stretch open into the inner portion of the leg down toward the feet. So we'll go ahead and bring ourselves down onto our forearms, maybe even bring the palms upward to have a little moment of release. You can relax the head forward or perhaps onto a block if you have one. Let your head relax and be soft. And just enjoy this stretch here for a couple breaths. On your next inhale, we'll press back into the floor, bring the palms back into the floor, press into the earth, lift up tall, draw the crown up, pulling away from the tailbone. We'll bring that right leg in. Go ahead and take a few motions with the hips, maybe making some circles with the hips. So you're almost drawing circles with your tailbone behind you, one way and then the other. You might relax the head or take any motion here, explore, see what your body wants. Part of knowing your dosha and getting to know your, I'm missing the word here. Well, maybe no need for words at this moment. But again, just finding those circles. And when you get to learn more about yourself, knowing more about where you land as far as your dosha qualities and characteristics, you're better able to care for your body and get to know what your body needs to meet your body's needs. And when your needs are met, I think we're all nicer people, right? We'll go ahead and back up, drawing the hands toward ourselves. Give ourselves just a moment here to settle in before we come onto the other side. So you might bring your hips toward your heels here. Your bum finds your heels here. Curl into the toes, relax the shoulders. Just draw that chin down parallel to the floor. Let the neck be long. Let the shoulders be soft. Jaw be relaxed. Come back to your breath. Always coming back to that centered, stable, peaceful place. And when I was saying nice people earlier, it's not about really being nice, but it's just about you can't give out what you don't already have. So if we don't take the time to be peaceful, we won't be peaceful people. If we don't take the time to feel joyful, we won't be joyful people, and we certainly won't be able to be a joy to be around. So the more that we know about ourselves, the better we care about ourselves, and the more we can really care about those around us and the world at large. So just understanding our dosha and why it's necessary to pacify our own default pattern by doing certain postures and series of postures to bring everything into a state of harmony and well-being, and then we can benefit from that. So go ahead, we'll lift up on an inhale. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So if you have a block, great. If you don't, we'll do it together. Let's bring the other leg out. For me, it's the left leg. Foot is pressed down, toes are forward. You can find that block or come down to the floor. Find the wrist underneath the shoulders. Press into the earth. As you press and lift your left or free arm up toward the sky, reaching the fingertips toward the sky, but don't bring your gaze up. We usually do, but we want to keep our energy either stable, neutral, centered, or down toward the floor. Because remember, we're pacifying Vata and Pitta. So it's kind of like pacifying the wind and the fire with earth, grounding, stabilizing energy. So that's what we're here for. Continue to press into the earth. Remind ourselves that we're here now. Find our breath. Connect to those anchor points. Again, inhale, reach. And on your next exhale, bring your palm forward toward your head, and we're going to press that palm and the whole arm down toward the earth as we bring our gaze down toward the floor, the palm on the floor, finding a long stretch from fingertip to ankles to toes, long body, long stretch, gaze to the floor, find your breath, stay connected. Inhale, bring the arm up long again. Great. And on the exhale, we'll sweep the arm back down toward the floor. Make that point of connection and walk your hands back to the center, finding that tabletop. Once you find that tabletop, you keep that leg out long and get that nice stretch down deep, down that whole inner leg here. We'll bring the forearms down, palms to the floor. Maybe you find a block here if you need it. Relax the head down toward the mat. Stabilizing, centering, grounding the wind. And calming the fire, finding a sense of neutrality. On your next inhale, press up. We'll walk the hands back, bring the left leg back to center, walk the hands toward your knees. Come back to your knees here. We'll round the shoulders back and down. Maybe take a few circles. Stay with your breath. Maybe the other way if that feels good. We'll sweep the arms forward just to do a little release here. Shake it out. Great. So now, 1 minute, we'll take just a little pause. Okay, so you probably can stay right where you are, but we're on our knees. We're going to be sitting up tall. We're going to bring our hips from our heels, and then we're going to bring our right foot forward so we can come into a low lunge. I don't usually take the typical low lunge because I've had some knee surgeries and I have to be very stable versus leaning forward. So if you like to draw your low lunges a little more forward, that's great. But for me, this works best in these 90-degree angles. Okay, so you might, for me, I'm bringing, well, even for anybody, that front one, definitely you want to have that 90-degree angle, ankle underneath the knee. And then for me, I'm going to keep that back foot with the toes curled under for additional support, although you can bring it flat. So finding that flat top of your foot on the floor for additional support as well. So we're going to see if we can find our hips forward, draw that right hip back just a little so they're in line with each other. Great. We're going to inhale, draw the arms open and lift up. And exhale, we're going to press those palms down toward the earth. And as you're pressing the palms down toward the earth, press your foot into the earth. Press the tops or I'm sorry, the opening of the toes if the toes are curled into the earth. So everything's pressing down and in. Just to find that upward motion is because we're pressing down. There we go. Follow your breath. Exhale. Inhale, we draw up. Exhale, press the hands down. Let's bring the hands all the way down to the inside of that front leg. And we're just going to take a little stretch here. Go ahead and let your palms, again, your wrists be under your shoulders. Maybe you can tuck that chin in just slightly. Rock the head yes and no. Finding again those connection points, staying anchored, staying focused on the sensations of pressing into the earth and noticing where you are. On your next inhale, we'll walk ourselves back up. We're going to switch sides, so bring your right knee back. We're going to bring our hands behind to our tailbone or our sacrum area. You can hook thumbs, you can make a fist, and either way we're going to open and lift the heart. So curl those toes underneath, draw those hips forward, hands around the back, pressing in toward the sacrum as we open and lift the heart. Draw those shoulders back, open, lift, smile, inhale here. And on the exhale, we'll go ahead and find our seat. We'll release the arms forward. And now we're going to inhale up, bring our left foot forward, ground down into the floor. Same thing as the other side. This is how I'm choosing to do my low lunge, but please suit yourself. I'm going to press into the earth. Notice where my hips are. Draw that left hip back if it's trying to come forward. Finding that grip into my connection points of the earth. We're going to inhale, draw the arms out and up. Keeping our gaze forward, central, neutral. Exhale, draw the palms down toward the floor, grounding and stabilizing your energy. Inhale, draw up. Exhale, down. Noticing those points of connection as we're inhaling up, but as we're inhaling, we're pressing toward the earth. As we're exhaling, we're still pressing toward the earth. Just reinforcing that centered, united, whole, complete connection. On this next exhale, let's go ahead and bring our palms all the way down. We're coming to the inside of that left foot, pressing the wrists right underneath the shoulders into the earth. You can draw the crown forward, tuck the chin slightly, or allow the head to come forward, allowing the back of the neck to relax, chin tucks toward the chest. You might allow your head and neck to soften here and relax, shaking the head yes or no. Coming back to your breath, staying connected. On your next inhale, go ahead and draw your gaze up. Walk your left leg back. We're going to come to our back here for the last portion of our practice, bringing the whole of our back down. So again, just bringing, I guess the idea here is as much of our body in presence and energy and awareness that we can bring down toward the earth, down toward the mat. We're calming and relaxing that Vata energy, that pursuit energy, or maybe even creative energy, maybe scattered energy. And we're also calming, soothing, relaxing that Pitta, fiery intensity energy. So kind of bringing all of that down to this really great place. So we want to find that neutrality in the body. We want to find our whole body grounded down toward the floor, that we can find those connection and anchor points in different areas where the weight of our body feels most dense. And we want to see if we can relax all of those areas. We'll find our feet planted toward the floor, hands to the belly to start. See if you can lift the chin so it's parallel to the floor. Relax into the shoulders. Find your breath. Noticing your heart rate, your breath. My heart rate is a little up right now. My breath is a little shallow. So I'm starting to draw my breaths out long, relax into my body. Let my weight be heavy against the earth. Keeping those feet planted toward the floor, at least for now. Let's see if we might inhale. We're gonna inhale and open into the knees, drawing the knees away from each other as we lift the inside edges of the feet off the floor, but keep the outer edges of the feet on the floor so we still have those connection and anchor points to the mat. Keep the palms to the belly, relax into the shoulders, draw the knees out wide. Exhale, we'll bring the knees toward each other as the inside edges of the foot draw down toward the floor, press everything down into the earth, squeeze inward, drawing in, engaging into the pelvic floor, the thighs, everything's kind of like a corset, squeezing in. And then exhale, relax the muscles throughout the pelvic floor, into the thighs, opening it into the knees, lifting the inner edges of the feet off of the floor as we create some space. Make your shoulders, maybe even noticing your shoulders, creating some space, allowing some softness, some relaxed ease. Inhale, draw the knees back in toward each other. We'll find the inside of the edges of the feet press down toward the earth and do a little press into the earth and squeeze in. Find that corset. Pelvic floor squeezes in, thighs squeeze in, glutes squeeze in. Engage. We're present, engaged, connected, grounded. Center, stable. Exhale, release, opening the knees away from each other. Relaxing into the hands, the shoulders, the head, the neck. Inner edges of the feet come off of the floor. Last one. See if you can pause here. Finding yourself in this version, modified version of Baddha Konasana. Maybe the feet aren't touching, that's okay. Finding your breath. Finding a softness, a weight, a heaviness in the shoulders and the neck, in the back and the legs and the thighs. The ankles soften. Continue staying connected to those parts of your body that are touching the earth, where your weight is heavy against the floor, where you notice your body in connection with the mat. Staying connected to your breath. Staying connected to your breath. Or coming back to your breath if there is a disturbance or an interruption. You can still come back to that place of connection, your anchor points. Continuing to stay connected to your breath here. We'll be here for 3 more breaths. Allow yourself to receive the blessings of your grounding and even restorative practice today, because we restore wholeness when we find that balance between our doshas. If you are tridoshic, as I am, we're pacifying your specific dosha so that you can restore balance. Whenever you're ready, you can bring your knees in, draw them toward each other. Let the legs come out long. See if you can allow your feet to splay open naturally. Let your hands weigh heavy on your belly. Let your shoulders be soft, your head be soft, your hips be relaxed. Relaxing into your thighs, your knees, your calves, your shins. Be heavy and still against the earth. Any thoughts arise, just let them pass like clouds in the sky, returning to those anchor points, touching the earth. Pacifying Vata, Pitta, through longer periods of rest. Your next breath, inviting movement into the body. Just bringing your awareness back to the room, back to the body. You can stay right where you are or come on to one side. You might bring your arm that's underneath up long, come on to one side if you'd like. Take just a moment here on this side of the body, just connecting this side to the earth, to this moment. And knowing that they're noticing this peace or any relaxation that you feel, you can bring with you. And it's available at any time. Whenever you're ready, you can press yourself up into an easy seated position. And we'll close class with a breath exercise. So come into a seated position that's comfortable. Again, find those connection points to the earth. Tuck that tailbone forward, draw up tall, relax into the shoulders. And it's okay to take it easy. Come back to your breath here. And for someone like me who's kind of always tugging between conflicting sides, it's really great for me to do the alternate nostril breath, which tends to find this nice stabilizing center between opposing forces. And it's been a really great healing practice and modality for me. So we're going to do alternate nostril breath in the way that I do it, which means we inhale through, we close the right nostril, which is the side, the more masculine side, if you will, the more Vata Pitta type energy. And we inhale on the left side, which is more the Kapha, earth or feminine energy, which represents actually the opposite hemisphere of the brain. But just to keep it simple today, we'll inhale in on the left side. But in this practice for today, we're going to immediately close on that left side and then exhale out the right side. So we're releasing that masculine, intense Vata Pitta energy on that right side. Long exhale. And then we'll press into the right side. Inhale, draw in that neutral, grounding, stabilizing, and even feminine, loving, nurturing energy. And then we'll press in that left side. Exhale more of that intense or scattered, distractive energy. And I'm not saying it's always bad. These all have advantages and disadvantages. Inhale left, exhale right. And you can put your fingertips on that third eye as well, which is another connection point, another way to stay present, centered, and stable, to feel that place. Inhale left side, press into the left side, exhale right side. We'll continue to do this for just a few rounds. Go ahead on your own so you can see my face. One more here. Great, so see how you feel. So you can take the hand down. I was trying to make it to where you could see me, but it's all good. It really doesn't matter how it looks. It just matters how it feels and what it does for you, your body and your energy. So let that speak here for just a moment. Let yourself be still. See if you feel more relaxed, more stable, more connected. Thank you for being here for this Vata, Pitta, pacifying practice, with Kapha being like the harmony force between the two. Thank you all for being here today. The Kapha in me, the Vata in me, the Pitta in me honors the Vata, Pitta, Kapha in each of you. Namaste.